So I've been studying physics, and um, I just realized I had the whole thing backwards. Physics isn't going to explain oneness. No languages. But physics might be the most precise tool we have for showing exactly why. When Newton needed to describe how things move and change, no existing language could do it. Math at the time wasn't built for it. So he built calculus, a new language, one precise enough to hold what he was pointing at. I kept wondering, do I need to do something like that? Do I need to invent a language for being? A framework precise enough to describe the undivided ground of reality? And then I realized, no, because the thing Newton was pointing at could be described. Motion, change, rate, these are phenomena. They have structure, language can hold them. Being isn't a phenomenon. Being is what's there before phenomena arise, before the observer, before the observed, before the split that makes description possible at all. You can't build a language for it because language is built on the very division that being precedes. So here's what shifted for me. I don't need to study physics to explain oneness. I need to study physics to explain why it can't. And that's actually a more rigorous project, a more honest one, because instead of trying to force the infinite into a finite container and pretending it fits, I study the container so precisely, so completely, that I can show exactly where it ends. I map the ceiling. And in mapping the ceiling that precisely, in showing exactly where physics, math, language, all of it hits the wall, I do something words alone never could. I point. And the person looking where I'm pointing feels the thing on the other side themselves. This reframes the whole quantum problem. Physicists keep trying to build a better equation to explain what happens at the quantum level, and the equations keep producing results that point beyond themselves. Observer effects, entanglement, wave function collapse, phenomena that the framework can describe mathematically but cannot explain meaningfully. What if that's not a failure of the math? What if the math is doing exactly what it's supposed to do? And what it's supposed to do at its limit is point beyond itself. What if quantum mechanics is physics arriving at its own ceiling and leaving a signpost? The signpost doesn't have words on it, it just points. People keep asking, what is the language of being? And the answer is, I don't know if there is one. Not because being is irrational or beyond inquiry, but because language divides and being is the ground before division. Every word you say about it draws a border, and being has no borders. So the closest thing to a language of being isn't a new set of symbols or equations. It's the quality of presence that remains when you've said everything that can be said and arrived at the edge of it. Silence isn't the failure of language, it's what language points at when it's being completely honest. So I used to think I needed to build something new, a framework, a language, a theory. But the project is not construction, it's excavation. Dig into physics deeply enough, precisely enough, honestly enough, until I hit the floor, until the framework shows exactly where it ends. And then don't fill the space with more words, just point. Because what's on the other side of the ceiling isn't something that needs explaining. It's something that needs to be recognized, and recognition doesn't require language. It requires someone willing to stand at the edge and be honest about what they can't see from there.